Well, we had another storm system come through yesterday afternoon, last evening, so we're back in the shop. Finally got another delivery in. You ready to open up your surprise?
Yeah.
Just to give you a hint, since the grain trailer's in here, it's got to have something to do with the grain trailer. What do we got here?
I ain't got to roll tarps anymore.
That's right, we got an automatic roll tarp system.
We done got fancy now.
Big time. We also got a new tarp, which kind of led to this project. The tarp we got on the trailer now is ripping there at the back, needs to be replaced. And then when Kelly and I were at the farm machinery show in Louisville, middle of February, I saw a vendor there that kind of had a knockoff of the Shurco automatic tarp system. And he had a pretty good price on it, and I almost bought that one. I thought, well, before I buy this one, I'm gonna go find the Shurco booth, see what their price on the automatic tarp is. I thought it would be prohibitively expensive. Anyway, finally found their booth, and yeah, the Shurco tarp system was a little bit higher, but they had I think a 10% discount on the day of the show, and I liked the design a little bit better, and it was worth about the extra $400 that it cost for the Shurco system as opposed to the knockoff system. So ordered it, and it finally came in earlier this week, like almost a month and a half later. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start off by replacing the tarp and then installing the automatic tarp system. All right, first thing we got to do is take this old tarp off. To do that, we got 6 brackets that hold the pipe on this side that clamp it in place. Those got to come off, and we'll pull the whole thing off and see how tough it's going to be to get the new tarp unfolded and installed on there. All right, we got the old tarp down on the ground. Got the small tube that keeps it clamped on this side. We got it out, and we're going to also replace the big roll tube because the old one was warped on one side. And for this thing to work smoothly, it's got to have a perfectly straight tube. So we got 2 20-foot sections. We're going to cut one down the length and then weld it together, hit this joint. And then before we put the tarp back up on there, I've been reading instructions. We need to go ahead and get our motor and stuff attached here on the front of the trailer, because we're going to do some more lining up, getting things vertical, and then cut this roll tube down to the adapter that comes with the motor. And we're going to do some measuring and cutting and drilling before we put that tarp back up on the trailer there. As close as we're going to get. I don't really know exactly where we're supposed to be measuring at, because the front slope, I can't tell if this channel looks like it's sloped. So what?
I mean,
and how far we got the thing jacked up actually will affect it too.
I think if you just got it level off of the trailer, that's going to be, or level off of the slope of here. That's got to be the best reference point. Don't give me the line.
Alright. Go ahead and tighten these bolts up and it'll at least give us a starting point.
All we gotta do is loosen them up.
Alright, the center line is going to be right in line with that top bolt. It's exactly center.
Yeah.
Alright, and then the center line is going to have to go
Right even with, well, it's right with that bend. That's
well,
what
no,
she
it's
said.
gonna be in a little bit. It would be even with the bend on this side. This looks like this kind of scoring line, I think, is gonna be about where we need to be. And then we're
Right.
gonna have to measure 41 inches straight down to the center.
Center of that.
The center of the shaft.
Okay.
And then we'll mark the holes. Hold that in place. Alright, that looks like that's where some needs to be. It's centered up. Alright, now bring your level down here and lay it across. Make sure I've got it level that way. Hey, Kelly, come here and mark the hole, please. Three right here, and then 3 on this.
This side's gonna come up a little bit.
Three in each line. And,
No, one in each room.
in the middle.
All right, I think we got everything properly measured, and we got our holes marked. So now we're gonna do some drilling the mounting holes for this. All right, we got the brackets on each end installed. What's next?
Installing the arm.
The stereo instructions.
Install the crooked arm.
Woo! Still have the cricket.
That is a lot of parts.
Yeah, so you need to make sure you don't have any left over.
Oh, if you don't have any left over, you didn't install it right.
Do it properly.
Those springs we got installed probably gonna be the booger.
No.
You not going to tension them or anything?
They automatically.
Or auto, see?
That's what the key stop's for.
Okay.
Brian Brown turned me on to a new video camera I was going to show you.
Oh.
It's a 360.
Oh, Matt knows about that one.
I know.
It's the ones they use like now for skiing and everything else. It's really cool. It literally gets like, it looks, you're holding a stick, but then guess what? You don't even see it.
The question is, does it turn on when you need it to turn on? And
Yes. This is expensive with value stuff. Okay, so.
It's a 360 camera. So if you're new to the channel, I absolutely hate GoPros. After like 2 or 3 videos behind. This camera, this is a Insta360 camera. So if you're new to the channel, I absolutely hate GoPros. I have one right there, but they let me down time and time again. I've spent $400 on dumber stuff, so I bought one.
That's a
And
360.
that's how you're seeing some of these different
That's a
shots that you're not used to
360.
seeing, like where the
That's
tractor
perfect to
looks
the
like
right.
it's got a drone following it. That's all from that camera.
Yep.
It films in 360 degrees,
really
and
cool.
then it uses a software program and splices all that footage together.
well, I do like the 360-degree part.
Pretty neat, right?
But that would not be my primary camera.
No,
No.
it's for like,
He uses this for his go. He's
for
like
outside.
He
stuff.
has. He went to the Canon because he got tired of stuff. His volume wouldn't record, or he would get corrupted files, and he would lose everything.
Yeah, but One thing I don't like about that Canon is the stabilization on it is not that great, and the thing I like about the GoPro is it gives you such a wide field of view when you're in the cab. You ain't got to place it exactly, and everybody can still see a lot of those. They are aggravating. They do have gremlins. I do cuss them a lot, but when they do work, they do put out good videos. All right, so both arms installed. Next step's gonna be get the new tarp up there, ain't it?
Unfortunately.
All right, ain't gonna be that bad. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I just noticed something. We get to use the fancy new Rivet gun again. Because that's how we're gonna lock everything in place.
Just gotta be riveted.
On the back, to hold the this to the actual pipe, it's got to be riveted in. Going through this, I just saw that. So. Another unnecessary tool. It's getting its use around here.
Hope we can find it. All right, I've gone on record plenty of times before. I've made no secret of my disdain of engineers who sit behind the computer and make up stuff on equipment that they think looks good, but in practicality, when you go to work on it, it's a complete mess. I guarantee you, these engineers that design this stuff, they probably love to watch every farmer's YouTube videos and have a good laugh at how they struggle to get this stuff out. It ain't got to be this hard. Right now, I gotta throw some props out to the engineers, whoever designed these jet trailers. These brackets right here that clamp the tarp on are amazing. Like I'm getting excited over these. It's pretty sad. I'm getting excited over them. Kelly down there laughing at me.
I'm laughing at that because look at this. Look.
Excuse me, I have to call somebody on my 1984 Motorola.
Excuse me, let me make a phone call.
But anyway, on older trailers, at least the one we had before, these brackets right here are bolted through the side, and that's what clamps this pipe to hold the tarp in place. And well, this is real thin metal and strips out, and it's a big pain in the butt. These right here, these are permanently affixed, but to remove the tarp, you pull this pin right here, that falls down, and then you just lift it out. I mean, did not get any better or easier than that right there.
And you said that excites you?
I guarantee you're Republican.
Yeah, I'm over something that's engineered good to make things easy to work on. I get excited about those kinds of things.
Mental note.
I can guarantee you.
So like, if I put something on like, the TV and be like, hey baby, you in the mood today? Look at this Marvel engineering show we got going on.
If you put on a bra that's easy for me to remove with one hand, yeah, I get excited about that too.
They do make those.
You ain't got none. You gotta use your left hand.
No, I meant like putting on TV, like you're like, and simple engineering turns you on, so I guess I need to find some more modern marvels and put it on at night. Put a little candlelight out and like, this is how Matt gets in the mood, baby! Anyways, props to whatever engineer designed this for the jet trailers. Y'all did a good job. I'd say this is a pretty good stopping point.
Now we're about to be getting into, we gotta unroll the tarp.
And then hook all that
Yeah,
up.
Now we gotta attach this piece that attaches to the motor and figure out how much to cut off.
We're getting into some more technical stuff, measuring, so that'll be a good place to start on it first thing in the morning. Maybe we can get this thing wrapped up by lunchtime tomorrow. Well, this morning, our first priority is to get the get the arms attached to the roll bar on the tarp, but we gotta get we're gonna have to do some cutting on that main tube to get it to the right length, because we need these arms here completely vertical to make sure there's no binding as it's rolling up or whatever. And we've already gotten the back one marked. Now we're going to try and get this heavy old motor up there and get it completely vertical and find out how much of that tube we need to cut. I cut it just up. Now, that bubble like really floating completely right now. That's close enough level right there.
You're 5 7/8 inches.
5 7/8 inches what we need to cut off. Yep. All right, let's pull this motor back off and slide the tube back out this way. All right, well, we got the stub shaft up there welded, got the tube pushed back in place. We got the rear pole, or the rear arm on there, hopefully right. Next step is to get this thing permanently mounted up there, and it's got some kind of complicated bearing assembly according to the instructions. Please ignore the clutter on the table and bench area. We've got multiple projects going on at once.
Projects? Let's see. This is a project that was in the back of the, hey, look, I found your sunglasses too, by the way. You're welcome.
Last night I was helping Carter rebuild the rear end on his four-wheeler because bearings was out and we took it off, and the only thing that came out of the rear differential was water and mud. Not very good lubricants in above themselves, but it's a testament to Honda's engineering that all we had to do is replace the bearings. None of the gears or anything was chewed up. Just put new bearings and seals in there, and it'll be good to go. Hopefully get that wrapped up tonight and get some of this mess cleaned up. There's one of the bearings we took out of the rear end. Not very good shape.
Put it up there and get past the lip on the end. Then you put your bearings on, because there won't be enough room to clear the lip. And then we can secure everything else up there.
Sounds a lot harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, well, let's speed this up once again. All right, we got the arms and motor attached and lined up as best as we can according to the specifications. However, when you're working with a long pipe that's flexing on both ends, sloped walls on the grain trailer, and a bunch of flexible stuff, it's about impossible to get this thing lined up exactly perpendicular, 90 degrees, level, everything else. But I think we've done a pretty good job. And here's the back arm right here. So the next step is Zach's going to put our retaining straps to fasten the tarp to the tube. And I'm going to get started on some electrical work. Alright, first thing we got to do is put some holes in our skin to run wires and electrical hookups through. Alright, got the power hookup installed. Wires run to the trailer. Transponder mounted.
Wires hooked up.
Yeah, now it's just a matter of getting them all hooked up and zip tied up.
And then wiring the truck.
Almost there. Alright, you want to see if your 1980 cell phone needs batteries in it?
A 1997 Motorola flip phone.
I remember when those were the thing to have.
Those were like the pinnacle of cell phones.
Alright, here's the instructions for the programming of that. You study on that while I work on this wiring. Alright, everything is wired up. What is the final step before we test it out?
Got to pair it to the remote. Select the Tarp. I got to hit the
I heard something beep.
We're supposedly paired now.
What does they do next? Just tell it to open up or what? Are we supposed to start in a certain position or?
It didn't say. It did not say if it had to be fully extended or rolled up or.
Is there some way you can like stop it midways if it's doing what it's not supposed to do?
According to this, you have to hold the button down the whole time. It's not a one click
Okay.
and roll.
Well, let's try to open it up. Oh, look at there.
It is a one click. Fancy.
Well, I'll be darned.
I'm gonna weigh 300 pounds by December because I'm never gonna get out of the truck.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like our wires are getting a little tight here.
Yeah, I've got some play in there.
Okay.
Check the button, make sure.
It sure don't look like that thing's standing vertical now when it's all the way open. The motor's wobbling a little bit, but
Oh, y'all.
it did it. That's what it's supposed to do. Let's see what the arm on the back looks like. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straight up and down. All right, work it again. I want to watch this bearing up here.
Get it tight all the way over on the brackets.
Yeah, tight as it's supposed to be. Tell you what thing we don't need to do is
we can't leave it open running down the road.
Not with those, well, that or parked overnight, not with those springs under that much tension.
Yeah.
And we really need to watch these brackets, make sure we don't start seeing any kind of cracking in the metal, otherwise we're going to have to reinforce the back. It didn't say anything for these corrugated trailers, but those springs got a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, we're not going to be able to overload trucks anymore because that thing going to be a bulldozer and push grain off the side. We'll be a little bit closer to the legal limit whenever we start hauling grain again. But coming like but during harvest, it's going to be a pretty big time saver not having to get out and tarp the truck every time. As soon as Kelly cuts the auger off and hit that button and head for the road, so it'll be a little bit quicker turnaround time. This isn't one of those things that's really going to make us a lot more money or more profitable. This is more of a luxury, but it's a luxury we've been wanting for a while.
That is greatly appreciated. Well, by me. I don't know how much Kelsey's going to appreciate.
I tell you what I'm going to like most about it is when you're hauling grain in January, right after a snowstorm, and there's soft over all over the roads, and that crank gets plumb nasty back there. That's where I'm really going to like it.
The only thing we're going to have to watch for now hauling in January is if it rains at night and that stuff wants to ice over, we ain't going to be able to park it outside no more.
No, because that ain't going to work too well with ice on top of it, I don't imagine. Well, we got some more work to do on this trailer at some point this year. I don't know. We just might have to sandblast this whole trailer. We've touched places up and painted over and primed, and it's still blowing paint off. Still a couple more spots of rust.
I mean, this is the automotive heavy duty stuff, and it's just...
Well, it ain't sticking. We must not have primered it or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's just not sticking to it. We're going to do some sandblasting on this thing in the next year or so. But not today. We're done with this project. And I guess it's getting close to dry enough. About time to head back out to the field and get some more ground ready to plant, because that's going to be right around the corner.
Didn't we just get done like 3 weeks ago?
It seems like it.
Now we're firing back up.
Yep. Planting season. The winters seem to be getting shorter and shorter, less downtime. Well, this is another one checked off the list. I want to look on my list and see what else we got left to do. I know we ain't got anything major other than the augers and the grain cart. It's mainly just kind of some piddling projects, nothing really else other than the cotton picker, but we got plenty of time on that. I don't know what we're going to pull in the shop next. I'll find us a rainy day project here soon, though. Well, appreciate y'all watching. We're going to pull this out and get on to our next thing.